أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت الحليم الحكيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good day everyone. The subject title we have for today is Special Topic 2. My name is Mushira Rahman Pagayawan from Group 6, presenting the lesson Alternative Systems of Education, specifically the title The School and the Education. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to learn the definition of school and its extrinsic motivation, the definition of education and its intrinsic motivation, and the difference of education from schooling. I've thought to discuss first the definition and story, the definition of school and education, and of course the slight inspiration how the school or schooling begin before learning the alternative systems of education, for us to easily understand and elaborate the differences from the school, from education into the alternative systems of education. That's why I am covering the special topic, which is the school, by discussing the school and the education with its definition. So, school as the primary educative agency of all societies. School is one social agency created by society to educate its members. It has become the primary educative agency of society, making it a major and indispensable social institution in the world. School means a social agency which is created by society to educate its members. For example, is our college, which is the CCSPC. CCSPC is a social agency, a school which is a social agency created by the society to educate its community. It has become the primary educative agency of society because of making it a major and indispensable social institution in the world. It means that CCSPC has become the primary educative agency of Cotabato City, the society of and the people of Cotabato City, is because it has an absolute essential to develop the people of the community where the CCSPC is located. All countries, irrespective of size, political ideology, and development status, all countries in the world, regardless of their status, how developed they were not, recognize the vital role of schools in societal development. School is recognized with their vital role or major role in the society because they play an important role on developing human, developing individual, developing the community and the society as a whole. This is the reason schools constitute the major structural component of modern societies. This means that the vital role of the school is the reason why schools constitute or establish a major structural component of modern societies. What do I mean by this major structural component of modern societies is the type of education in the modern societies, that which will be discussed by my reporters. So that's it. School is a social agency created by society to educate its members. An example of this is CCSPC, that which is created by society to educate its members. because it plays an important role, which is to develop the society of the place where the CCSPC is located, and more importantly are the people who lives near in it. According to Sharma 2000, the word school is derived from the Greek word schole, which means leisure. We know that the leisure word means pastime, relaxation time, resting time, just a pastime. So according to Sharma, the word school is derived from the Greek word schole, which means leisure. Because in ancient Greece, leisure places were used for self-development, where the Greeks discussed matters related to enriching their knowledge, skills, and virtues. This means that in the story of the school, by how it began, was being inspired by the ancient Greece, because ancient Greece used to spend their leisure time at their leisure places to enrich their knowledge by discussing matters that can improve their skills and improve themselves, which is their knowledge. Gradually, by enriching their knowledge and improving themselves, these leisure places where their leisure time were spent was developed into a place which turned into a four walls with the furniture and a person or a teacher that gives lecture. So from time to time, gradually, these leisure places where these ancient Greece spending their leisure time into enriching themselves and improving their skills had turned into a four walls of the classroom where the other educational materials came. So this means that in the story of the school, it was being inspired by the ancient Greece who used to enrich their knowledge. In modern time, however, school may be defined as follows. So first, going back to the ancient Greece, we've learned that school is derived from schole, which means leisure. So it means that it is being inspired from the ancient Greece, where they developed themselves by using or spending their leisure time in it. So in modern times definition of school, according to John Dewey, in the first one, school is a special environment where a certain quality of life and certain types of activities and occupations are provided with the object of securing the child's development along desirable lines. This means that, according to John Dewey, in his definition, school is a special environment. It's a place which is special because in here, the child is being developed. They are given certain type of activities that can enrich their knowledge and develop their skills. And of course, as a whole, is themselves. On the next definition by J.S. Ross, schools are institutions developed by civilized men for the purpose of aiding in the preparation of the young to be well-adjusted and efficient members of the society. According to him, J.S. Ross, a school is developed by civilized men. That means that in previous time, there are already civilized men who developed this school, and their purpose in it is to prepare people to become well-adjusted and efficient members of the society. So we can relate it into the main purpose of education or schooling, which is to create law-abiding citizens. So that's for him, J.S. Ross. For Everett Raymer, schools are institutions which require full-time attendance of specific age groups in teacher-supervised classrooms for study of graded curricula, which is commonly known to us. So for him, a school is an institution where you have to submit yourself in full-time attendance in a specific age groups with a teacher that is supervising the classroom for study of graded curricula. So that are the three modern definition of school in modern time. First, school is a special environment for the child's development. Second, school is an institution where is an institution created by civilized men for the purpose of preparing and efficient members of the society. And then third, school is an institution that requires full-time attendance with the teacher-supervised classrooms for study of graded curricula. The school has always been regarded as the most indispensable educative agency in the formation and transformation of individuals and societies. The school has been regarded with an absolute essentiality to the society because it plays a major role in developing individual person by formation and transformation of those individual person and the society as a whole. Education and schooling, are they one and the same? So education has a broader term than schooling. We've learned the definition of school. Now we will learn the broader definition of education. So education means to draw out. What do we mean by draw out? Is something like education means to draw out is to draw ourselves out to seek knowledge, to seek the truth, to seek the reality, to learn something beyond what our eyes can see. Education also means facilitating the realization of the full human potentials of an individual that takes place in formal and informal settings. It means that education facilitates the realization or self-discovery of a human being or an individual of his innate potential as an individual that takes place in formal and informal settings. It means that education can facilitate or help you or assist you on discovering your potential as a person or as an individual. Education is a term used to describe the knowledge and skills that individuals acquire inside and outside educational institutions. This means that education can be acquired not limited to school or institution, but also to outside educational institutions, which is the knowledge and skills that can be learned and gained not only inside the classroom or inside the school, but also at outside the educational institutions. Education covers a large spectrum of intangible but profound knowledge and skills that are taught and learned. This means that education covers a large spectrum of intangible, which means education uh, covers a knowledge that which is intangible or untouchable, that which cannot be touched, but which is profound and which can be taught and learned. Education is learning regardless of where, when, and how it occurs, leading to a change in the learner's behavior. This means that education, regardless of wherever you are, and at any time and at anywhere and in any situation, you can acquire education. This definition presupposes that education can be acquired even without going to school. Example, with the virtual classes that we are having nowadays because of pandemic. As you can remember, some of the netizens requested the Department of Education to temporarily stop the schooling, the education because of the pandemic that we are facing for today. But the DepEd Secretary proposed not to stop the education because for him, education is unstoppable. It can even be acquired even by not going to school. According to George Santayana, a child educated only at school is an uneducated child. In short, school is just one of the many educative agents or teachers that may influence the education of a person. Education is partly a result of schooling. Yes, but we can still learn and acquire knowledge and be taught even by not coming into the school, or which is the social agency of the society. Thus, education doesn't simply revolve around a routine set of procedures. Sorry for at my new, just replace it with the word around, because that is wrong. Thus, education doesn't simply revolve around routine set of procedures of transmitting knowledge to students in schools. What do we mean by this? Routine set of procedures are the testing, the lecturing, the passing of assignments and projects. Education doesn't only revolve around that set of procedures. Rather, its plan or system continues throughout life. This means that education doesn't only revolve, or doesn't only remain focused or remained only in that testing, which is the set of procedures, but will always continually be beneficial to the individual or to the person who acquired it throughout life. Every individual learns something new every day, either through playing as a teacher or learner from numerous life activities, and that which is inevitable, because wherever we are, at any time and at anywhere, we always met people that could teach us, or something that could realize us, make us realize that we still have something to learn about in the world. The system of education used intrinsic motivation and the natural desire of man to learn and improve. It occurs based in the internal motivation of a person to achieve his full potential, irrespective of the means to achieve it. This means that the system of education is inspired by the internal motivation, which means that you are being motivated internally by yourselves because of your innate desire to learn and achieve something. This is based on an innate desire to establish genuine relationship with other people that are founded on respect. Unlike the system in schooling, discipline is enforced for the best interests of an individual. This means that in intrinsic motivation, the system of education is inspired by our innate internal motivation, our innate desire to learn something. For example, in TESDA, I can say that I really want to learn how to drive. I don't need the certificate or diploma, because what I want is to learn how to drive. This in that way, I am being motivated by my internal motivation, which is my innate desire to learn that knowledge even without having the certificate or the proof that I have studied driving. In the system of schooling, that is the system of education. And when it comes to the system of schooling, extrinsic motivation is used to form as a form and method to influence and make students learn. So the system of schooling is the opposite of the system of education, because in system of education, as you can see, it used intrinsic motivation or internal motivation or innate motivation, our innate desire to learn. In the system of schooling, it is extrinsic motivation. This is influenced this extrinsic motivation is used as a form and method to influence and students learn. For example, there are some students that has to be motivated by a material for them to continue on learning. An example of these extrinsic motivations are the rewards, like grades, medals, honors, diploma, certificates, and recognition. This is the most basic examples of extrinsic motivations, which is opposite from the intrinsic motivation of the system of education. Because in the system of education, you are being motivated by your innate desire to learn. But in the system of schooling, you are inspired by the rewards, which is the grades, which is the medals, the honors, the recognition for you to continue on learning. So it means that you are being influenced by the form and the method. Also, a system of schooling intends to control and discipline to ensure that students will learn. This is guaranteed through the imposition of school rules and regulations. educational programs and activities. So yeah, that's right. There are many types of schooling that provide education to children and young adults, such as public schools, private schools, colleges, and universities. So that are the types of schooling that which provide education to children and young adults. But nowadays, new alternative delivery modes, or the alternative system of education, alternative delivery modes of education are emerging. These include, among others, homeschooling, correspondence school, distance learning, and many more. These alternative systems of education that which is emerging is this kind of alternative system of education, which is new to our ears, will be discussed by my co-reporters. So, Alhamdulillah, I hope you have understood, you understand the meaning of the school, the education, and their difference. So it'll be easy for you to understand and elaborate the differences of the alternative systems of education after my reporters discuss it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you're all safe. Alhamdulillah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayhi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good day, everyone.